Right, catch-up time. We haven't done one for a while, but oh my lord, September has been ridiculous. I've pretty much lived in my van, travelling up and down the M6 for the entirety of September, but it's been really good. I've had some phenomenal days fishing. And for this catch-up, I'm going to catch up on two things. I'm going to catch up on I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it the Monkhall Festival. Is it an On The Flyer or Catch 'em on Media? I'll give it to Gaz's credit. I'm sure it's an On The Flyer festival at Monkhall, I'm going to say. The September festival that it's now in its second year. Absolutely ridiculous festival. Probably, I'm going to say, I say this about lots of things, but it's the best festival I fish for fishing wise. It's amazing. Monkhall, we spoke about it a lot. It is an extremely special place. For whatever reason, everything's just amazing. The fishing is beyond belief good, but at the same time, very technical, thought about, and you've got to do it right or you don't catch it. It's a unique venue, but we'll elaborate on that with each peg and all that. So that was first thing. That was I think it was the second week in September, that one. Yeah, about second week in September. So we're up there, first day, weather was poo. It was, in fact, really mild, but it was rainy and horrible on the first day. There's 50 odd anglers on it, so there's 5 lakes, 10 on a lake, pretty much. I think there might be 48 or something like that, but pretty much 10 on a lake, and you have to win your lake. That's the way it works. Section points, then on weight, so it's all about winning your lake. And the first day I've drawn on Buzzard Lake, which is one always wants to be on. I've never been on Buzzard during the summer, and last year it was the lake to be on. It was the most consistent for really big weights. I think Bagger had 360 on it. I think Christian had 320 on it. There was half a dozen 300-pound weights, and it's the lake probably with the most biggest fishing. Very carpy. I mean, a lot of these lovely fat mirrors that are sort of 2 to 8 pound potentially. They proper do go up. Is this car going to annoy us, Rich? Let's see what happens. But yeah, really good lake. Still stuffed to the gunnels with Ide and F1s as well if you want to go down that route. But for me, for everyone in fact, it's how it has to be on there. You have to target the carp because of the weight that you need. So first day I've drawn peg 4, which is on the back side of it and in a row. We're all in a row on that lake. It's the one place in the world, it does not matter when you put every peg in, it still fishes the same. Crazy, absolutely crazy place. So there's peg 2 to peg 6 and then peg 9 to peg 13, I think. But all in a row anyway, and I'm right in the middle. You have these gaps in between the island, and I'm in a gap with an island just in front of me. So I'm on the corner of an island, which most of the pegs sort of are. Really simple day. For me, it was 100% pellets, as always, with a bit of corn in the edge. And the plan was to fish 6 and 8 mil pellets on the top kit, just down a little bit, micros and corn in the edge. And then I wanted to be a bit different. I wanted to fish the island, which most people fish a method feeder to. But I thought, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to fish a pole, because it's only... it was 15 metres sort of thing. I was halfway down my 16 metre section. But mine's very overgrown on the island, so I really did fancy it. It's quite dense with reeds hanging over, a bit of a canopy. And then I had probably 4 foot, 3.5 to 4 foot tight against the island. So that my whole plan really was to fish up and down on that line across and on my top kit line with maybe fishing in an edge. Started short, caught a couple. Not many bites though, and everyone around me was the same, not too many bites short. So I started feeding the island with 4 mil pellets, fed 4 mil, so I wanted to catch them shallow. And within 10 minutes, they were sucking on the grass. So it's been the bestest day ever. Literally, from that point, I shipped across and I've slapped the pellet. I did try on the deck once or twice and I fouled up the couple, couldn't catch any. But I've literally fished shallow, start to finish, pretty much with the odd little venture short, catching an odd one, but fishing shallow against this grass all day, and it has been phenomenal. I've almost been a bit too erratic. I've gone a bit too fast when I should have just slowed myself down, but I've ended up winning the lake with a 246 I had, 246 pound. That won the lake, but followed by 3 other 200 pounds. It fished absolutely unbelievable. And a very random thing that I've never ever done in my life as well, halfway through this day, is it's all raining and slippy and horrible. And I've been playing one about £9 at one point, and I've never done this in my angling career. Halfway through playing it, I decided that I wanted to let go of my top kit, and that's what I did. I've never seen a top kit vanish that fast in my life. Literally let go of it, it were gone. Simple as, it were gone. So who knows what happened there, Luckily, it didn't cost me, but yeah, if anyone gets me top kit out of Buzzard at Monk Hall, can I have it back, please? Leave it with Ben and I'll pick it up. So yeah, don't know what happened there. I thought I'd share that with you lot. So all good. I didn't win the match the first day. I think I was 4th or 5th in the match. I think Christian won the match off Hawk with 270 odd, and there was various others. I think Sam Slockett had 200 odd off Lark. I can't remember, my memory's rubbish. Jordan won Lark, sorry, he had 250 odd. It fished brilliant. I mean, several 200s all around the place, but we'd won our lake, so all good. Next day, and I've drawn, there's no bad pegs, there ain't no bad pegs at Monk Hall. Every peg is worth £100. But I've drawn Owl, which is the little lake at the bottom, or a snake, very much a snake lakey at the bottom, which, phenomenal. Mega lake still, but the weights aren't as big as the other lakes. The carp are a little bit smaller, a lot more eyed and F1 fishing on that lake, and as a result, the weights are always a little bit lower on that one than they are on the other lakes, just because of the stamp of fish, I think. I mean, it's still ridiculously solid, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's really good. I think Paul Holland had won the match, won the lake the previous day. I don't know where he'd been, 7, 12, 11, 12 or 13 he'd been on, somewhere around there. He'd had 200 and, I'm going to say 202, 200, little 200, maybe 205, something like that. So a little bit lower than the other lakes, but still, all you want to do is try and win your lake. So I've got a really good lake again, we've got some good anglers. I've drawn peg 5, which is standard, nice, just a snake lake peg. I've got Weeder next to me, Echo Weeder. Morg was on my left. Tom Scully was on Paul Allen's peg. You know, still plenty of good anglers to beat, and I wanted to do it different. Because I've got Weeds next to me and Morg, I knew that they'd go down the shallow for F1s and Hydroot, and I thought, I don't want to get into that tussle of sharing fish, particularly because I was in the middle. So almost in a stubborn way, which I'm always going to choose, I wanted to fish my way. And I fished pellets across. I did throw some casters down the middle, but I came off that very quickly. I fished pellet short, but I fished my edges a lot with micros and expanders. That was my sort of day. And I've had a really nice but scatty day fishing across. And I thought I'd have the same day as the previous day, in that I'd be able to feed pellets across against the reeds, fish on the bottom, catch loads of fish shallow. But because I've only had this, I couldn't catch any shallow. I actually didn't have a bite shallow all day. So everything they didn't want to stay on the bottom because they were sucking, but I couldn't catch them. So I've had a bit of a scatty day, foul looking a few, but I've caught a much bigger stamp than everyone else. I've just caught carp with the Nod F1 involved. I've not caught the eye that everyone else has gone for. We've just gone for big fish. And yeah, I've ticked over. I've had a lovely finish last 2 hours down the edge. I've caught steady, not fast, not brilliant, just nice and steady with an odd big fish. I've had one big at about £12, which has definitely been a bonus. And we finished with £175, which was actually second on the lake. So Tom Scully, where Paul Holland had been, he'd fished an IDF1 match fishing shallow. I think he fished shallow start to finish, Thomas did. I'm pretty sure. And he's had £188, I think, 189. I think, I might be wrong, it was around that sort of thing. He's probably had £15-20 more than me, and he's won the lake. So fair play to Thomas. He had also won his lake the previous day on Swallow. Thomas been on the deck, so he had 2 wins, so fair play, right up there. But again, when it came to the results, that had actually cost Thomas as well, being on Owlpool, just because of the weights are down a little bit. And what it turned out, Jordan Holloway had won the festival. He'd been on Lark and Hawk. I'm going to say he's at 500 and something pound. I mean, Christian was second. He's been on Hawk and Buzzard, again, 2 big weight ones. I think he was £3 or £4 behind Jordan. Again, like 500, 550 pound. Yeah, they must have had 250 and 250. No, I'm going to say they had 540 pound, something each. Ridiculous for 2 days fishing. Thomas had been third again on 2 wins. Lower weight again because he'd drawn on Owl the second day. I think Thomas had around 400 pound. That was a very large one that's just jumped out to see Andrew. Just ridiculous. You can see the weights that I'm talking for anglers for 2 days at a intimate, lovely venue that isn't solid. It is solid. It's not chaotic. You don't feed and have fish crawling over them. It's just lovely. It's just amazing. You need to go to Monk Hall if you haven't and had a go. It's just really nice. If you like that type of fishing, short snake lake, short pole, busy fishing with lots of bites, it's the best by a million mile. Absolutely ridiculous venue and wonderful, wonderful event. So unfortunately, I've just snuck in. I've ended up 6th. So I lost out. They were the top 3. Jordan, Christian, Thomas, James Howarth were 4th with 3 points, the same as myself. Paul Holland had 3 points, same as myself. I was 6th. Again, just fell behind on weight. I think I was £50 behind the other two. £50 behind Paul, £60 behind James. But still phenomenal. You know what I mean? I've just had £400 of fish in a couple of days. And a nice little payout as well. A lovely, lovely run event by Gaza. And can't wait to the next one. So that out of the way, that was my nice little chilled out holiday sort of thing. Next up was Fish Midlands. Right weird one. You can see we put a lot of efforts into that this year, following it on the campaign through live matches. And yeah, it came down to semi-final. We're going to go through, let's talk about 3 matches, innit? Dead quick. So semi-final, in fact 4 matches, so I'm really going to rattle through this fast. Semi-final was on Sycamore, and that was to be 30 anglers down to 15 anglers. And Sycamore is a massive, massive, big, wide, sort of snake lake. It's 25 metres wide, 6 foot deep in the middle. It is a massive expanse of water. There are 60 pegs. Big, 50 odd in there. No.
58.
Big fit, massive. It's flipping huge anyway. And it's moody carp and a load of stockies that Dale's just put in, loads of these little stocky F1s. We went and fished the practice on a Thursday practice match, and it became very obvious it was either a case of mugging carp or catching stockies. They were your 2 choices. Maybe an odd fish on a method, but really, really simple. And on the day I came 2nd, catching 40 pound of stockies on a top kitten 1 in 4 foot, and I was convinced 4 foot to the depth, that's where I'm fishing in. That's where I'm going to catch a load of these stockies. And then I mugged 5 carp for, I must have had 35 pound of stockies and 30 pound of carp. 5 carp, 30 pound, all mugged, which was great. 2nd in the match that day. Craig Meadows won them. No, he didn't. Don't know who won the match that day. But anyway, came 2nd in the practice match. The semi-final came 2 days later, and I drew peg 46, 43, 42. Just one of them around there somewhere, in the 46. And that it won the match on the practice match. But completely different pegging. It was 2 miss 1 on the semi-final. Much, much tighter. And a very different day as well. It seems to be the narrowest area of the lake, that. And we had a bit of breeze passing through. And it was completely different. I've gone in at, well, you can watch this on a live match that we've already done. Gone in at 4 foot. It hasn't moved. And I'm like, all right, we could be in trouble here because there's no muggers or anything. Different day whatsoever. Ended up moving out to 11 metres, and to cut a very long story short, luckily the stockies were out there. And I believe that myself and Mitch Davidson next door to me, maybe because we fished in that way and we drew them all in, or because we were on a bit of both, I think. But we've been very, very lucky to have the vast majority of the stocky F1s in front of us. So we've had a really simple, little bit boring, a bit monotonous, but you're there for a reason, just to get through. And we just caught stockies long. So we fished stockies with micros and expanders, ticked over all day, caught loads of them. I think we caught 70 plus of these nice little stockies. I had 1 random carp halfway through, and we had 52 pound, I'm going to say I had. Yeah, 52 pound, that got me through. I think I was in 5th place with 52. Mitch had 56. And then the end peg, Craig Meadows, he won the match with 62 pound. But all went through. That's all we were there for, was to get through to Fish Midlands. The final, a week later, and we moved on to Elm Lake, which is completely different. Patient, really, really setting traps, carp fishing. And I've drawn peg 17 on the practice match on the Friday, which is the area you want to be. All the fish seem to live from peg 10 to peg 24. That's where you want to be on the lake. We're right in the heart of it. And I've had a really nice day. I've ticked over. I've literally fished short, long all day, and I've had 80 pound, which was 3rd on the day. Matty Dawes won it off peg 22. He fished a method feeder all day. He had 105 pound, maybe might have had 100 pound. 100 pound he had. Bagger was 2nd next to him with 86. I was happy. It really, really simple match it came about, in that you either fish short pole, long pole, or method feeder. That was it, with a very, very odd fish in the edge. So couldn't have been easy. I pulled on my rigs on winders, hoping all the lake was the same depth, which it was. It was as easy as it could possibly be. So the next day, Went back again, we filmed this if you want to have a look, and I've drawn the same peg, or my daughter's drawn the same peg for me, peg 17, which I was more than happy with. I'd been in the morning, I was like, yeah, that'll do me. The wind's coming at me, yeah, take that every single day. Matty's drawn same peg, Matty's on 22 again, weirdly he's on the same peg. I think 3 people drew the same peg, didn't they, that they'd been on the previous day. But then I've got Bagger next to me on 14, Pimmy on 12, John Harvey on 10, plenty of good anglers in that area. Luke Bamford on 24, Dave Scott on 20. There were lots of anglers that were capable. The only worry where I was is I didn't have a method feeder chuck. I had all reeds, trees sticking over, so I couldn't get tight. But I was happy. I was just going to fish my match, short and long of the pole. Went in short, tapped me 10 pellets in, and within 5 seconds, my elastic got pulled out. I was like, oh, right, this is going to be the easiest final on the planet. And it carried on like that. Literally, I had 6 in 6 chucks where I've dropped it in. It's pulled me lassie out, but I'm catching weird fish. I'm catching these like 2 pound ones or 3 pound ones. Not very big fish at all. But after 90 minutes, I've got 11 of them. I've caught most of them short, got a couple long. I'm flying. I'm probably winning the match very close after an hour and a quarter in. I'm leading the match, and I think, right, just tick over and we'll be all right. But from that point, I didn't have another bite. I had 1 bite short that I foul-hooked the carp later on. I landed that and I caught 1 skimmer. But I have not had a bite all day. And I've watched Bagger fish a lovely, patient method feeder match next to me. He's threw that onto this nice bit of bait bank he's got. He's got unlucky, Bagger, if I'm honest, in that he's caught, I think he had 17, I think he said. I'm sure he had 17 carp that have only gone 78 pound-ish, big 70 pound. The day before, Matty had 16 for 105, and I'd also had 16, maybe 15 on the previous day for 80. So it was really unlucky. He's definitely caught a smaller stamp that day. And he's came second. Next to him, the nicest man in fishing. I'm shocked Andy hasn't piped up with catch no meat cock. Dave Pimlott, he's won the match fishing. The match that we expected to win, a patient, short and long on pellets, tapping an odd one in, pinging a very, very odd one, being patient, and he's caught the right stamp of fish. He's had some really big fish. He's probably caught a lot. He's probably had 20 though, hasn't he? See, they catch quite a few smaller ones as well. But fair play, the nicest man on the planet, Dave Pimlott, has gone away with 12 grand, and I've gone home with the tail in between my legs with a sultry, what I have, 34 pound. I think I beat 3. Just crazy match when everything just seemed to leave the area, and we've caught nothing late on, unfortunately, but still, lovely, lovely, lovely venue, and a lovely, lovely event as well that we'll definitely be getting involved in next year. And it was something, it was different, it was a different type of match. It was quite nice. It was a match where anything could happen, so I mean, I'm all into that. It's not all about catching £300 every time you sit down. I like the technicality as well, and it throws a spanner in the works, and strange things happen, which is always good in them sorts of big finals. So yeah, that's me catch up. That's how most of September's been, along with a load of qualifiers that I'm going to catch up with on a separate one. But yeah, it's been my busy month, and now I'm about ready for a rest. So it's time to catch some silvers, I think. Right, you lot, if you have not already seen, this month in the Winning Ways world, we have yet another boatload of live matches coming.
Been right busy, haven't we, J-Lad?
It has been phenomenal, and yet again we've got some ridiculous guests that have been privileged enough to give us their time, haven't they, with filming their live matches. But yeah, to run through them nice and really quick, we've got Alex Doherty fishing up with a glebe. Yeah. That was actually during the qualifier, so something a little bit different.
Golden Mill qualifier, yeah.
We've got Adam Richards on Cedar. Yeah. Adam, firm favourite. You're all loving him, and he produces a wonderful live match, doesn't he?
And he's coming back once a month for us, folks.
That's lots and lots of Adam. We have Des Ship himself up at Willamarsh.
No moaning whatsoever, folks, and it's a very hot day.
You're live.
Yeah, I like
Of course Des likes a boat, but he's also likes catching fish, so he's all good. Every day with Les. With Les, Des
and Les, very similar.
We've got myself as well, completing the campaign.
The summer campaign.
Fish Midlands. So, if you haven't already, haven't
campaign, we're going on to the winter campaign, including myself. I can't wait to get stuck into these matches for you folks. So, filmed every one of them. I've got like 12 lined up, so get on it, folks. So much content for you. We said we'd go next level. We are delivering.